This video was made from an 8mm film taken on March 23, 1940 on the occasion of John and Anna Lindberg's 45th wedding anniversary. Alice Lindberg, their youngest, seemed to be the photographer. Gene Naber, Fern and Fred's oldest, found the film in a box in a shed at Aunt Alice's place in Three Rivers after she died in May 1994. He borrowed an 8mm projector, viewed the film, and put it on a video to share with the rest of the family. John Lindberg and Anna Renström did not know each other in Sweden, even though they both came from Oakland. They met at the Covenant Church on Dolores Street in San Francisco. Their first two children were born in San Francisco, Ruby in 1896 and Elsie in 1898 or 1899. The rest of the children were born in Berkeley, Francis in 1902, Eugene in 1904, and Alice in 1906. In 1914, the family moved to the San Joaquin Valley. They purchased 20 acres 5 miles east of Kingsburg, 1 mile east of the Kings River. The address used to be Route 1, Box 265, Dinuba, California. Now it is Road 40. Blackjack was the name of the road, but it was not used in the mailing address. Most of the film was taken in front of the 2-story house Grandpa Lindberg built. Aunt Alice said her folks stayed in a small structure, and the children slept in the barn until the house was finished. Francis, Eugene, and Alice lived on the ranch. The two oldest children remained in Berkeley. Ruby was enrolled at UC Berkeley, and Elsie was working. There was a small vineyard on the place. John worked outside the home as a carpenter at first. Later they raised chickens, making a good living selling eggs. You are viewing this part as Alice filmed it. In the next segment, we will pause and identify members of the family. There's Grandma and Grandpa in front of their house. The hand that rocks the rocker rules the home. Next you see Ruby and Thelma. Jackie, Gene and Thelma's oldest, is crossing in front. Marvin Callender, Francis and Gene's oldest, is holding Karen's hand. She's Gene and Thelma's younger daughter. Fern, Francis and Gene's older daughter, is with her back to us, next to Elsie. Eugene is setting up his camera. Ruby, Francis and Gene's younger daughter, on our right. In the background you can see Francis and Gene Callender's place up at the top of the hill. And Grandma and Grandpa. You know, we were used to still photos in those days, and we had to hold still. And when a movie was being taken, we were told to move and do something. So then Grandpa gets playful. Who does Grandpa Lindberg remind you of? Look at his smile and his mustache. We think Rod Naber, Fern and Fred's youngest. On the right, Gene and Francis and Thelma. And then there seems to be a mystery lady in the background. And then there's Marvin holding Karen, Elsie, and Ruby on the far left, Jackie in front. Look quickly. There's Fern, your narrator. There's Grandma and Grandpa again. From left to right is Grandpa, Grandma, Gene, Fern, Ruby, Jackie, Elsie, Marvin, Karen, Francis, and our mystery lady, Thelma, and Auntie Ruby. And there's Gene Lindberg in a family rocker. And there are the cousins, the Calendars, and the Lindbergs. In the back, Ruby, Fern, and Marvin. And in front, Jackie and Karen. And Gene and Francis, Calendar's youngest. Glenn isn't there because he was born in November of 1940. Gene's taking a still photo of Grandma and Grandpa. There's the Lindberg family, Alice, Eugene, Francis, Elsie, Ruby, Grandma and Grandpa. Here's little Ruby getting a peek at the movie maker. Jackie beside her on our right. And on our left, Grandma. In back, Gene and Thelma's walking behind. And now Grandma and Grandpa get to look. And Karen's dad, Gene, gives her a toss. Whee! Lindberg daughters. On the left, Ruby, Elsie, Francis, and Alice. Gene takes his sister's picture. There's Marvin Calendar in his Ford Roadster. That rumble seat was the big clue. There's Ruby and Francis and Fern. Lindberg's barn is in the background. And there's Grandma and her harvest of eggs. We all seem to have inherited Grandpa Lindberg's walk. Grandpa Lindberg and his flock of chickens. And they're in a frenzy. It's feeding time. And there's Alice taking a photo of Ruby Calendar. Alice takes a picture of her sister Frances. And a picture of Ruby and the saw. And on Ruby's left we see Erling's barn across the road. There's Elsie and Francis. And Ruby. And there's Ruby and Elsie on our left, Francis on our right. They seem to be leaving in Marvin's car. And Elsie lifts a hand, excuse me, a foot to help.
Well, let's give you a better view of this now. We'll take it in here frame by frame.
Okay.
You can get a blow by blow of the
on the lift.
Oh, yes. Steps back, takes good aim, right-legged. Whoa, that's a high lift.
I like that. There's a view of the neighbor's place across the road. The camera's facing east. Now movie maker Alice gets in the picture. She's walking in Lindberg's backyard. Okay, here's some footage, seems to be in the backyard of Elsie and Pete. They lived at 2520 Humboldt Street in Oakland. And there's Pete and Elsie. And the other gentleman, we don't know, but he could be Pete's brother visiting them. He still had some relatives in Greece. Oh, goody. Maybe that was a Greek kiss.
Were they that happy to see each other?
Must have been. Oh, and I remember Elsie and Pete doing that, and Auntie Ruby used to teach her cats, just doop, over they go. And I don't know, he must have built that was probably building that back, well, like a sunroom in the back of their house.
Now, is that where Alice lived?
She lived off of that, yeah. Auntie Elsie had her parrot there, and birds, and swing. And then a room off of that had a bed. She had really smart cats. Probably a patient owner who trained them.
Elsie was big most of her life, huh?
I guess so. I don't know about the birth weights. We want to get away quick.
Oh, and the joy of
looks
having
like
cats.
looks like maybe on the farm, huh? Maybe it was mud.
Yeah, I think they're out in the garden.
Oh. Quite a carpenter. You can almost hear that plane.
Yeah, they were really fitting that in. Today, if it fits within an inch or plus or minus, it's okay.
Yeah, I remember those windows. And then this must be Alice. There she is. She lived with them for a while. I'd like to know your name, but I don't.
Now, was that their dog? Did they have a
I
dog
don't-
too?
Yes, they had dogs. I don't seem to remember that one. After that, they had little teeny weenies, but, well, I don't know, he's running off. Maybe that was a visitor.
He seemed to be around a little bit.
Could have been, I don't know.
Oh, SPCA.
That's a no-no.
Obviously, he must have been leaving because
Yeah, getting ready.
next
to
shot, we don't know who that is, and then
No.
it's a train station.
For the history buffs coming up, be sure and check what the headlines
Let's back
are.
this up,
Yeah,
just to
okay,
show.
there was Alice. Stop along there.
Let's go back and we'll show Alice
Okay,
with a friend.
that's perfect.
And that is
Yeah.
Alice's profile
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly.
In the Santa Fe Passenger Terminal.
No doubt in Oakland.
And we're not quite sure who this is. And here
There
we
we
have,
go.
if someone's a history buff, maybe we can help. Checks students in battle tanks used. So whatever that means, tell us when it was. That was an extra. And some kind of parade.
Okay. Oh, we're gonna. Okay, you car buffs, what year is that and what kind? Goodbye, honey.
Beautiful paint job.
Mm-hmm. Backing out onto Humboldt.
Now, one of the cats had a birthday, right?
Must be.
Is that tuna cake? Because I'm sure the cats are just sniffing at it, not eating it.
Maybe they get to see it before we eat it. Huh?
Then always a football game at UC, which was Alice's thing, and then just a little vignette of Elsie walking through the snow.